Okay, so this is going to be game number 4 between IBM and FactSet. The series is currently 2-1 in IBM's favor. So if IBM wins this game, the series will be over. If FactSet wins, we will go to a Game 5 ace match. The map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. This is a pretty old map. This was introduced in Wings of Liberty quite a while ago. So in the upper right here, spawning is the blue Terran for Team IBM. We have Groom. And in the lower left, spawning is the red Zerg for FactSet is WK Cough? Whack Off? I really don't know what I'm going to call him. I'll just call him WK Cough, I guess. This map is Cloud Kingdom. This is a pretty balanced map. I wouldn't really say that either player has an advantage here, or either race, I should say. You've got pretty obvious choices for your first, second, and third base. Fourth base is a pretty obvious choice too. The fourth base is really hard to defend though. You've got this upper ground here that you can attack from, and then you've got these ramps coming down to it on both sides, especially the offensive ramp. So fourth base is usually a point of contention, but first three are pretty obvious here. And then you've also got these corner bases. This map is one of the easiest probably for hiding a base, just because there's really no sort of case where, you know, even if you're doing medevac drops or something, pretty rarely will you path all the way to the corners and fly over them. So that can be a factor on this map as well sometimes. Groom's got one Rax coming down, sending out that scouting SCD, which will bump with the scouting drone. It's going to scoot on in here, and he's probably just going to go up and check to see if there's any gas, which you will see there are no gases coming down here. 15 hatch for the Zerg. Hatch first. I think even in Heart of the Swarm here, hatch first in ZBT is still considered pretty safe. If you're against like a pro level player, the new Reapers are really, really good. I've seen a lot of pro streamers that'll do 2 or 3 racks, and then they'll open with like 6 to 10 Reapers. And because the Reapers have speed by default now, and because they have regen by default, you don't need upgrades to get the speed or the regen anymore. So if you get like 6, 8, 10 where you can make up for the nerf that they took to damage, they can actually do quite a bit of damage, but it's all in the micro, so I don't know. In the B League it probably doesn't matter. I know I wouldn't be able to micro Reapers while not losing at the same time. Pool was coming down. Didn't see how many drones there were after. It looks like guessing it was probably standard 15 hatch into a 16 pool. No gas yet. We'll see if he chooses to get a gas here, if he's just going for a third. He saw that the Terran didn't take any gases, but other than that, he's playing blind here. Low ground expansion. He can't quite see that with the Overlord, but he will be able to poke in and check that's coming down. If he sees this bunker, it's pretty safe to assume that there's going to be a command center behind it. And he can't quite see the bunker either. That's also just out of range. So he's getting a gas here. Hopefully he's only going to mine 100 gas out of that and get speed, and then pull the drones off of that. Just 4 lings popping out here. This is what I usually get to. Take each of the towers and get one outside the natural, and, you know, just check for proxies and that sort of thing with the 4th. Not choosing to transfer any workers here, and still hasn't changed his rally point either, so he's going to start to get a little bit oversaturated at this main. He'll need to either transfer or change his rally. And at this point, the Zerg really needs to think about taking a third. Has he confirmed the expansion? No, it looks like he's going to run up with these lings here. He's not careful, he's going to lose all these lings, and he might get an SCV here, but I mean, really what he needed to do was confirm the expansion. He didn't see the command center. He does see the bunker. You know, he can, I mean, unless the Terran is doing some sort of meta gameplay where I'm going to build a bunker to make you think I'm doing an expansion without actually doing an expansion, but that's pretty low probability, especially with this Overlord ledge here. So at this point, you can probably assume that there's an expansion there, which is going to be his cue to take a third base. So third base coming down to the Zerg now. He did not pull off after, oh, he's just now getting 100 gas here. Oh, interesting. Actually, his first 100 gas went to layer instead of into speed. And then he's staying into gas as he's getting a roach warrant now, so it's probably reasonable. Get those really early roaches out. just because any sort of early Hellbat push or any sort of early Hellion push is so strong right now. As we can see, Groom is choosing to play Bio. 3 racks coming out of him. He's currently mining off of 2 gas here. Building these multiple layers of supply depot walls. He's going to have one at his main and building another one at the natural here. I like that play. Can fall back as needed. So, really, yeah, he's got 8 Marines out, which, in a bunker. Yeah, I guess that's pretty safe there. You know, has he scouted? No, actually, the only thing Groom has scouted at all is that there was a natural expansion down, so he just verified that he wasn't dealing with a 1 base, but he hasn't checked for the 3rd yet. No scan, didn't send a worker out or anything. And Groom has absolutely no map control right now. I mean, all he can see is his base. And very good map control here for WK Koff. For FactSet. He's also droning very hard here. He's up to 38 drones right now. Looks like he's pausing to build a couple of roaches. Actually, literally only building a couple of roaches. 2 of them coming out there. Throwing down this choke a little bit with 1 Evo chamber and a spine crawler there. I like to see the 2 Evo chambers up there. Sometimes the roach warren as well, which is really good for any sort of Hellion run buys. Although with how good Hellbats are right now, you don't really see Hellion run buys a lot. It's usually Hellbat bottle buys. We're getting into the gas in his natural there, and we have a Hydra Den coming down. So, has he scouted? No, he hasn't scouted the production at all, the Terran player. He doesn't really have an SC. Yeah, okay. Just as I say that, he knows he needs to get an Overlord in there. He doesn't have this Overlord up here to sack it, so he's going to go ahead and turn it into an Overseer and kind of make a beeline for that production. I don't know if he sees this push out here. It looks like maybe Groom's going to go try and put some pressure on this 3rd. Judging by the Roach Hydra composition, it looks like he assumes he's playing against mech. You know, Hellbats are really good, Widowmines are really good, so a lot of Terran players are going mech right now, but in fact, we've got Groom is playing Bio. Scan comes down for Groom. Looks like he's just checking on the tech structures. He'll see the lair and the roach worm, but he's not going to see much else. In fact, he's dealing with pure roaches right now. Stim is not done. These Marines are 0-0, and the roaches are 0-0 as well. All those upgrades are pretty far away, but roaches do okay against Marines, and there's only 2 Marauders in this composition here, so I don't really like that Groom is taking this fight. He's trading fairly cost-effectively, but I mean, without Stim, he can't really run away. He engaged on creep there. I think he chose a good time to get out there right as that spine crawler was finishing up, and before he lost everything. Keeps one of the Marauders alive. So just applied some pressure there. We can see that the resources lost are almost identical, within 81 resources of each other, so just a little bit of a trade there. All said and done, though, Groom is way ahead in workers. 49 SCVs to just 39 drones, which at this point in the game, as a Zerg, you do not want to be that far behind in workers. So that looks promising for our Terran player. Does he have a 3rd command center started? It doesn't look like he does. I don't know if he's planning to just play this off on 2 bases, or like maybe he might be going for like a 2-base 2-2 timing. This 1-1's going to finish up here, and you can see that he's got the armory timed almost exactly with his 1-1 upgrade, so he can go right into 2-2. Those 2-2 timings are very strong. Stim is finished up now, and he's got his medevac production starting, so you might see some sort of 2-2 timing with, you know, yeah, maybe a couple of drops with a poke at the front. Groom's drop play is very good. He's picked me apart. I'm a Zerg player, and he's picked me apart with drop play a couple of times. So overload spread from the Zerg is good. He should see this drop coming in. At the same time, Groom's going to kind of do a little poke here. So we might see a poke at the natural and a drop at the 3rd, or a drop at the main with the attack at the 3rd. A couple different variances here, but variances. Dropship is hanging out right next to the Overlord. The Overlord is currently screaming at WK Cobb, hey, there's a dropship right here. But did he hear? Looks like he did. The Roaches and Hydras are in position. Dropship is going to hit the boosters and fly right into the main, so this is nice. The only thing here is this Queen. And, yeah, this army here kind of provides a little bit of distraction. These guys need to stim up, and, you know, it looks like the drones are going to get away there. And focused on the Queen, this is a fairly big deal. Just losing your Queens a lot hurts your production. He thought about going for the lair there. I don't think he's going to get the lair. I like that he's focusing down the spawning pool, but it'd be nicer to kill these roaches first. Losing the spawning pool is pretty annoying, but with a... It looks like the Zerg player is planning to do Roach Hydra anyway, so I don't know how big of a deal that's going to make. The Army's showing up now, and these Hydras are here, so he needs to load up and hit the gas. The, what's it called? The Ignite Afterburners. Uh-oh. He's trying to get fancy here, but he's surrounded by Hydras now. Nowhere to hide. He hit the Afterburners at the last second. Behind that, Groom's taking a third. Widowmine production has started here. I saw a couple more were coming out. We got 3 in the field, 1 more building. These Widowmines are very nice. If you set up a perimeter around the Zerg base with them, you can use them to protect your third, so any Zergling run by becomes ineffective. Overseer's going to scout that third. I thought maybe he was going to drop a changeling there and try and do that. So, let's see, worker count is 66 FCVs versus 50 drones. Yeah, this is very nice for the Terran player. He can just mainline a bunch of SCVs over there, put up a nice wall, get right to mining. He sees this 4th timing. So, Roach Hydra versus this Bio play here, and actually he's choosing to go Planetary Fortress at the 3rd, so it looks like he's afraid of an attack, and that's going to be a good choice. Both of them, excuse me, both players are pushing out across the map in opposite directions right now. So it looks like Groom is going to deny the 4th, but at the same time, he's going to struggle to hold his 3rd. This Planetary Fortress will help a lot. The 4th goes down instantly. Planetary Fortress finishes. See if the Zerg wants to engage, doesn't like what he sees, and decides to back off there. Dropping the main with a Widow Mine. Very nice. If he gets that Widow Mine buried right here in the mineral line, there it goes. I like that a lot. I don't think he's going to get this hive down or anything, but he is pulling the Zerg army all over the place. Main army has taken out the 3rd, Widow Mine at the 3rd. This is looking very good for Groom. He's in an excellent position here. 40 supply out. He's got a lot of Marauders in this composition, so these roaches are just going to melt. Drop is continuing to tear apart the main. Widow Mine's in the 3rd and the main. Widow Mine at the 4th. Yeah, the Zerg is in trouble here. Forced to pull all of his drones, losing all of his drones now. 27 workers killed for Groom and climbing. Marauders are all still alive. I mean, that's really all there is, but the supply is now 137 to 28, and there is the GG from WK Top. So Groom takes game 4, and so I think that's it. IBM wins 3-1.